there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Rainbow Crush YouTube and Instagram hop hosted by Tara over at the Paper Snob. I'm also playing along with the Follow a Sketch February group, and this is the sketch that I'll be following today. The Rainbow Crush hop, we take a different color each month, and our layout should be 75% that color, and the color for this month is pink. So I am documenting my two, I guess they're my great nieces. So this is my niece's daughters, and they are planting a plant in their garden. And so I pulled out several different layers or scraps of pink out of my bin of pink papers. Well, my bin of warm colors. I sort mine by warm and cool colors, and then I have a bin for neutrals. So these are out of the warm colors, pulling in all of the pinks. Tried to stay with more of a softer rosy kind of pink or peachy pink rather than like a bubblegum pink. And so I'm going to go ahead and layer those up as best I can. I'm also using an awesome stencil from Sandy over at Scrapping Reflections, and this is the first time I've used this stencil. It's called the Floral Mandala, and I just think it's really stunning. So I'm going to go ahead and use that, and I'll be just using some pink, different shades of pink ink through that stencil, and then a little bit of green as well. So as far as following the sketch, my floral piece is taking the place of the star, and then I am still creating my photo cluster, and it's going to be more in the bottom right hand corner, although my photo cluster is much larger than what's on the sketch. So I'm just using the sketch to fit my needs, and since my photos are different, it's going to look a little bit different. And plus, you know, I'm not using a star. You could totally use a star, it wouldn't be a big deal, but I decided that the star did not go really well with these photos, and I knew that these photos were perfect for the pink because the girls are both wearing pink sweatshirts in the photo, and I definitely wanted to play off of that. So I am using a little bit of pink ink. This is just leftover ink that is on my blending brush that I started with, and then I ended up pulling in some worn lipstick Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to apply that a little bit darker towards the center of the large flower, just so that I get a little bit of different depths of color. And while I apply that, I just want to remind you that this is a hop that is hosted by Tara over at the Paper Snob for the Rainbow Crush. So if you want to see a bunch of layouts that are primarily using pink, you're going to want to check out that playlist that I've got listed down below in my description box. And then if you want to see more people using this sketch to suit their needs, you can check out the playlist for Follow a Sketch February down below, and that is put together by Sandy over at Scrapping Reflections is her business where you can find the stencil. Her YouTube channel is State Goddess, and she is the one that hosts Follow a Sketch February. So the link for that is down below. I will also link up the stencil down below and any products that I am using today that you might find available, which is probably just going to be the inks because I don't use a lot of other items. Well, that is not true. I am going to pull in some little wood veneer pieces from MK over at Some Assemblage Required, so you're going to see those in a little bit here as well. So I am using a one of my mixed media rags. It's just a little white rag that, well, it's not so white anymore because it's got mixed media on it, but I'm just using it to wipe off some of the pink on the stencil so that my green brush doesn't pick up the pink and transfer it into the green spaces, and then I'll end up with a not so pretty color between adding pink and green together. And then I do end up using this little tiny brush to add a little bit of, I believe that's scattered straw, to the centers of my little tiny flowers, and I think that looks really good. I don't have a whole lot of yellow on this layout, so I kept it very simple and with a light application. And then I noticed that a couple of my lighter shades of pink weren't showing up as crisp as I wanted, so I went over those just again to make sure that I've got a little bit of a crisp outline around those pink flowers. Now here's where I went through a bunch of different wood veneer pieces, and I pulled them out and I just set them aside while I work on some rub-ons, because I know I'm going to add something more to this background rather than just having the stencil work done. I want a little bit more of a mixed media feel to it, and I did pull out several things from the 49 and Market Spectrum Sherbert collection, which I still have a lot of, and I'm still working through. So pulling out lots of pinks and layering up some pieces here in my photo cluster, just like there are some layers in the photo cluster on the sketch. My title is going to be up in that same spot, but I am going to keep it to this piece that says "Stay Curious," which I think works well. The girls are just really enjoying their time in the garden or in their yard planting this this bush that we sent them. We actually sent it to them as a housewarming gift. I'm not sure that it survived due to a new puppy that they had, but I definitely wanted to document it and get it down in their book, and I really just love seeing the two of them work together, so I thought that was really fun and would make a great addition to the scrapbook, because, you know, they're little, and I think in these photos the younger one is still 2, and the older one is, I think she's 6 in these photos. She might actually be 5 in these photos. I'm not really sure what the date is right off the top of my head. I do have the date, but I just don't have it in front of me while I am voicing this, so I'm not sure if it's after her birthday or before. I do suspect it is before her birthday, but anyway, just adding my layers here and figuring out where I want things. I did use some gray rub-ons with some text to add a little bit more to that background. I really like how that ends up looking. You're going to see that in the close-ups. I'm going to add this pink diagonal stripe rub-on as a layer right below the photos here. It's just going to peek out a little bit, and I really love that addition as well. And then some little gray sketchy lines, and that's going to kind of just soften everything up with the background. And I'm being very intentional on the placement of those rub-ons, as you can see up in the corner with the little frame there. I did not worry about doing underneath that frame. I just kind of did inside the frame and then outside the frame. So I didn't waste the rub-on underneath. I wanted it to peek out a little bit more. Now I am playing around with these little wood veneer pieces. I really love them. I only end up using 2. I will put those down below as well, so that you can see, or so that you can go and find those over at MK's shop at Some Assemblage Required. You can see there's some fairies here off to the side. I don't end up using those. And then there's a couple other floral pieces. I will try to link all of those down below for you in case there's something that you see there that you're interested in. I want it to be easy for you to find, even if it's not something that I put on my layout. I will use them on a different layout, so I will link them in case you're interested in them. Just adding a few more rub-ons, being again very intentional on where I place them so that they're not wasted underneath the layers of paper that I've got going on here. And then I am going to add a little bit up at the top here where that butterfly is going to be floating off to or flying off to. And I think that looks really good, just more of that really light gray. These rub-ons are from 49 and Market. I don't know if they're available any longer So if I can find them, I will link them, but I can't guarantee that they're still available. I have quite a few rub-ons in my stash, and I'm just going to continue to work through those. So I apologize if you can't find those any longer. Oh, I should tell you, this wood veneer is adhesive backed. All of MK's wood veneer over in her shop is adhesive backed, so you don't have to use your adhesive. It comes already with adhesive on it, and it sticks really well. So make sure you want it where you've got it if you're going to go ahead and apply it. It also does have a masking over the top of the wood veneer, which keeps it so it doesn't get scorched when the laser is cutting it. So you need to remove that masking when you apply it or add it to your layout. Now I wanted to go ahead and add a staple to the center of my butterflies. I just like that look. I think it adds a unique texture to the layout, and it was a little bit too far in when I was first going to apply it, and so I just put the staple through the butterfly and then used a little adhesive to adhere it down. Now my tweezers are just holding it in place so it makes good contact with the paper while everything sets up. And then I am using these 49 and Market rub-ons. These are actually from the Spectrum Sherbert card set. They had a card set that you could purchase that had envelopes and little card bases, and then it had these really cute little sentiments that you could use, and I'm just using some of the hearts off of that. I'm not using the sentiments, I'm just using the hearts. And then there was a little strip of small wordy bits off to the side, and I'm going to use those as well. And those are a little bit, they're black, so they're a little bit heavier, but they're so tiny that I felt like they would go really well and just be scattered around to have a little bit of additional interest on my layout. I apologize, my throat is very dry at the moment, and fighting a cold, so hopefully that is not affecting the voiceover too much, but if you hear it in my voice, that's what the frog is. I'm adding a little bit of black soot distress ink all the way around the outside of the layout just to finish it off, and then the close-ups will be coming up in just a moment. I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, leave those down below. Hit that thumbs up if you don't mind, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you would consider subscribing and coming back and visiting me for another layout. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys again soon.